A man lives, sleeps, and plays among a pride of wild lions. We explore the deep, trust-based relationships he has cultivated beyond the boundaries of traditional human-animal interaction. Settle in for their journey. If you believe in the power of these stories, a simple like helps our channel immensely. Imagine standing just a few feet from an apex predator, a fully grown male lion, his mane a swirling crown of gold and black, his paws the size of dinner plates. Most of us would feel the immediate, primal urge to flee. We are taught from childhood that the line between human and animal, especially one so powerful, is absolute and must never be crossed. We know the rules. Lions are wild, humans are separate. But deep in the bushveld of South Africa, Kevin Richardson decided to question that fundamental rule. He observed the traditional conservation methods, the cages, the distance, the reliance on darts and barriers, and sensed a profound disconnect. He saw fear masquerading as respect. He saw control, not communion. And he believed that if he offered something entirely different, something radical, he might receive a different response. He offered his presence, his vulnerability, and his genuine, unedited self. This wasn't about domination or training. It was about integration. It meant abandoning the tools of human authority and learning, instead, the complex, subtle language of the pride, the gentle rub, the specific scent, the subtle ear flick that signals mood. The path was riddled with risk, demanding a courage that borders on the spiritual. The moment he first lowered his defenses and laid down among them, accepting his place not as master, but as a member, was the inciting incident for a bond that the world had never witnessed. The early years of this relationship were defined by a near-constant tension, a dance on the razor's edge between trust and instinct. Every day was a negotiation of boundaries, a test of intent. The world saw a dangerous display, but Kevin saw a deep intellectual challenge. He had to prove, not just once, but perpetually, that he was worthy of a lion's presence. He learned that lions, despite their awesome power, are creatures of profound loyalty and deep social architecture. They don't give trust, they allow you to earn it, moment by moment. The process of integration was slow, often painful, and required him to absorb small, non-lethal corrections from the pride. A swat that wasn't a kill strike. A growl that was a warning, not a commitment. These were the first lessons in the lion's complex grammar of respect. He learned to read the subtle body language that communicated everything: the twitch of a tail, the direction of a gaze, the relaxation of muscle that signaled acceptance. His true teachers were the lions themselves, particularly the dominant males and the protective lionesses. They didn't treat him as a human, they treated him as an odd, clumsy member of their extended family. He became a constant presence, sleeping near them, enduring the harsh sun, and sharing the quiet monotony of their daily lives. It was in these mundane moments that the magic happened. He was there for the births, the fights, the losses, and the shared, sleepy warmth of the afternoon sun. He wasn't simply observing, he was participating. He would rub noses with them, a massive, silent human receiving the deepest form of cat affection. He would roughhouse with the youngsters, his skin marked by the sharp, playful claws of cubs that would one day outweigh him by hundreds of pounds. The bond was crystallized during a moment of crisis. When one of the younger lions, a female named Veyron, was injured and separated from the main pride, Kevin stayed with her for 3 consecutive nights. He was her sole comfort, her protection against the outside world, and the conduit back to her family. When he finally led the healed lioness back to the waiting pride, the reunion was explosive, a torrent of vocalizations and mutual grooming. But then, the entire pride, including the skeptical alpha male, turned their attention to Kevin. It was a moment of absolute judgment. They didn't attack. They surrounded him, offering a collective, deep, rumbling purr that vibrated through the ground. It was an affirmation, a declaration. They had accepted him not just as a temporary presence, but as family. This acceptance was the ultimate unspoken vow. It was a recognition that transcended species, resting entirely on mutual respect and shared experience. The true confrontation wasn't with the lions, but with the world's rigid expectations. This profound cross-species bond didn't stop at companionship. It became a powerful tool for a greater mission. The world, initially skeptical, was now watching, mesmerized by the visuals. A man running alongside a massive lioness, a human resting his head on a giant, slumbering male. This was the climax of the story, the ultimate expression of radical trust. It exposed the lie that all wild creatures are simply objects to be managed or feared. It showed instead that they possess complex, individualized personalities and are capable of choosing connection. The true purpose of the relationship was never entertainment. It was a profound, visual sermon. The courage Kevin exhibited by dropping his defenses was translated into a plea for conservation. By showing their sensitive, loyal, and intelligent nature, he forced the audience to reckon with the staggering loss of wild lion populations. The sight of a lion gently nuzzling his human friend is far more powerful than any statistic. This sanctuary became a symbol, demonstrating that the greatest safety lies not in separation, but in deep mutual respect. His legacy isn't about training lions. It's about being trained by them. It's about the universal truth that every living thing craves connection, and that true power lies in vulnerability and understanding. We must learn to listen to the whisper of the wild, for it speaks the language of the heart. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Before you scroll away, tell me this. Do you believe a bond like theirs could really exist? If this story touched your heart, drop a 1 in the comments so I know you're still with me. And don't forget to subscribe, because the next story might just remind you that sometimes the wild loves us back in ways we'll never forget.